Okay, welcome to this Maximum Pixelation video review of The Walking Dead: The Best Defense board game. It's a new cooperative board game for 1 to 4 players, although I wouldn't play it solo. And it's by Cryptozoic, and it doesn't suck. We actually have a decent Walking Dead board game. So the object of this game is to last 12 turns without one of your resource decks being exhausted and without somebody getting killed. So let's show you what comes with the game. You can see right here that I've got the 4 boards, the 4 location boards laid out. There's the farm, the highway, the town, and the prison. The prison is the only one that has a special condition which actually helps the players, and I'll get to that when I go over how to play the game. These boards are randomly placed, so the next time the highway could be where the farm is, and the town could be where the highway is, etc. Next to these, we have resource decks. We have the food deck with little food tokens, the ally deck with ally tokens. Over here we have the equipment deck, which doesn't have any tokens, and the ammo deck, which has tokens as well. Again, these are randomly placed, so the ammo next time could be next to the highway, and the equipment could be over at the prison. We also have an event deck and walker tokens. To my right here, we've got some hit point tokens. There's the sheriff badge. The sheriff badge is used to denote who's the leader for the turn. There's ulterior motive cards, which are an advanced concept, which I honestly don't like, but I'll talk about those in the written portion of this review. And then we've got 6-player boards. Why 6? Because of licensing issues. They can only have 6 players in a Walking Dead game, I found out, which is pretty interesting. So we've got Maggie with her standee, Michonne. Her standee is not, there's only 4 stand bases because only 4 players can play. So we got Michonne, Glenn, Rick, Daryl, and Andrea. Now each of these characters has a leader ability that is different, which is at the top part of the card there, and then everything underneath where it says hit points, allies, and food, that's the same on every card. So the only difference is the characters is the leader ability that they possess. There's some dice, just 6-sided dice, and then a black dice which goes 1 to 3, and then finally up here we've got the turn tracker. There's a nice rule book which explains the game very well and is pretty short to get through. So this is the Walking Dead game, the best defense, and the components that come with it in terms of quality. Everything is decent quality. It's not cheap. It's not top of the line. It's the best way for me to describe it. It's the type of quality you would expect at a game you buy at like Toys R Us, you know, an everyday game for your kids. So I'm going to go ahead and get things a little bit more set up here and then run you through a game turn. Okay, this is a Walking Dead: The Best Defense game. We're going to go through a quick turn or so. Got it set up for 2 players, which isn't my suggestion while playing this game. I would say 3 is the minimum. It's a 4-player game, so 3 or 4. And I've got Rick and Andrea here. Rick is going to be the leader for the first turn. So I've completed most of the setup. What you do is you shuffle those boards up. You've got the farm, the town, the highway, and the prison. You shuffle them up, you put them face down. You shuffle the 4 resource decks, equipment, ammo, allies, and food. And so you basically randomize the board. So in other words, in this game I've got the highway in the upper right hand corner with equipment at it, but it could be in the lower left hand corner with allies at it. So every game the resource decks and the locations should be in different spots just on a quick random shuffle. And then each survivor starts with 5 hit points, 2 food, and 2 allies. And then somebody should be sitting at each spot. So technically what you do is you roll this black die here to kind of get a random starting amount of walkers at each location closest to you. So we're going to pretend Andre's at the farm and Rick's at the highway. So we'll roll for Rick. So we take 3 walkers and we put them up there. And then for Andrea, 3. So, pretty bad start. Okay, then each survivor gets a random equipment card. So we'll draw for Rick. Rick's got the flashlight, so we'll put that near him. And Andrea has a flashbang grenade. Okay, so turn goes like this. At the start of the round, you read the new leader's ability. Each survivor has an ability. Rick's ability is he adds +1 to the combat dice for this round. You discuss strategy. So I have nothing to discuss with myself. In this particular case, we want to get weapons, which is going to be at the highway, and then there's a possibility we're going to need ammo. And the farms already has 3 walkers. So the way you lose this game, depending upon the variant you're playing or difficulty level, is if one of the resource decks runs out of cards, they each have 25 cards, you lose, or if one of the survivors dies, you lose. At least that's how I play. So, the leader turn, he now determines where the survivors are going to go. So Rick's going to send himself over here, and he's going to send Andrea to the farm. Okay. And then what should have happened before that, I apologize, is each survivor is going to get 2 event cards. Now, they get to look at them, they don't get to tell each other what they have. The leader is going to have to play both of his event cards, where the non-leader is only going to have to choose 1. These are never good. So Rick's got 2 here. So Rick's turn, he moves over to the highway. He has the option of trading equipment with someone that's there. There's no one there. So he's going to draw a card from the deck and hope to get a weapon. And he gets a machete. That's good. And actually, because of his flashlight, he gets to draw 2 cards and choose the one he wants. So it's a shotgun and a machete. We're going to go with the machete because I don't have any ammo for the shotgun. And there's 3 walkers here. So that would be the end of Rick's turn, except now he has to play his events. First event, the town bar. If you're at the town, draw a food card. If you're not at the town, roll 1 to 3 walkers. So, 3. Keep getting a 3 with that die. 3 walkers go to the town. Second event, if you are the leader, add 1 walker to each location. If you are not, add 1 to 3 walkers to the leader's location. That absolutely sucks. So, you get a walker at each location. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Now the prison's the only special location on the board. The prison, you can ignore the first 3 walkers. So sending walkers over there isn't a bad thing. Unfortunately, we have lots of walkers everywhere else. Not good, especially in a 2-player game. This game's very hard with 2 players, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the end of Rick's turn. So now we go to the first non-leader turn, which would be Andrea. In this case, there's only 1. Now Andrea can, if she elects, defy Rick's placement of where he told her to go by spending 1 food, and she can move to an adjacent location. Taking a look at her events, she's not going to do that, so she's going to go ahead and draw a food card, because food is always good. So she gains 2 food, and you should create a discard deck there, but I'm out of space. So 2 food for her. So she's simply going to take 1 of her 1s and turn it over to a 3. So now she has 4 food. And she's going to play her event, which is called Empty the Shelves. Each survivor at your location draws 3 cards and then puts 1 of them on the bottom of the deck. So that's actually a good event, a rare good event. She's the only one at her location. So she'll draw 3 cards. She's going to have a ton of food. going to put this good one at the bottom of the deck. And then she's got these 2 cards which go ahead and get her 2 food. So we'll just go ahead and flip her other one. So she has 6 food now. 6 can be used, food can be used to heal at the end of a round, and also to just realized we didn't give Andrea her hit points here. But food can be used at the end of a round to heal damage and also to defy, as we just said. So now we would come to the combat phase. So the leader gets to choose which location he wants to do first. So Andrea has no weapon. So the way I was taught this game is if you have no weapon, you can still make a melee attack where you roll 1 white die. That's not going to be good for her. She doesn't take a lot of damage. Her flashbang grenade basically allows her to attract zombies to her location, which isn't going to help. So we'll do her first. She rolls a 6, plus Rick's thing is a 7. For each multiple of 5, you kill a walker, so she kills 1, which isn't going to be good for her. Now Rick is going to go ahead and do his. He's got the machete. He gets to add 3 to his roll. So Rick rolls a 2, plus 3 is 5, plus his 1 is 6. So he only kills 1 walker. And now we would move to the final phase, which is the end of round. Each walker does 1 damage. Survivors first. So let's start at the prison. The prison walls ignore the first 3 walkers, so there's nothing going to happen there. Rick's going to take 3 damage. So that would put him down to 2 hit points. Then we come to the town. The town, there's no survivors to take damage, so the zombies, the walkers eat cards for every zombie there, every walker. That's 4 cards that we just lost out on. Not only did we lose out on them, like I said, if a resource deck runs out, the game is over. Then we come to Andrea, and Andrea is also going to take 3 points of damage. At the end of the round, both Andrea and Rick would elect to spend a food to heal back up. So we'll take care of some record keeping here, and they both get a hit point back. So they're both at 3. And then the round track would go up to number 2, and the leader token would pass, and you would rinse and repeat. The goal is to get to 12 rounds, like I said, without a resource deck running out or without somebody dying. And that's it. The game's actually fun with 3 or 4 players. Doesn't work very well solo. Doesn't work at all solo, in my opinion, and it definitely doesn't work very well with just 2. It's very challenging. But it's a really good game, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So, this is The Walking Dead Best Defense.